Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Camper Report. We're a few minutes late, but that's okay. If you're just joining us now, we have CG Ruthless Sports on the channel. All of his links from his Twitter to his YouTube channel is in the description. Obviously, as you can see the screen, we're going to do a 49ers mock draft today. I'm super pumped up. It's the first one of the year. I might do another one right before the draft. But we have CG Ruthless Sports, which he tweeted at me a few weeks ago about a prospect that I was highlighting that I thought the 49ers would draft. And he kind of gave me a little bit of a introduction on that NFL prospect. I think it was a safety, some type of safety. And so I was like, this guy has knowledge on the 49ers prospects. Not all of the 49ers content creators have a lot of knowledge on these prospects, but this guy seems to have a lot of knowledge on them. So I was like, why don't I have him on? How are you doing today, CG Ruthless? And I'm excited to get this mock draft underway.
Oh, absolutely, bro. I definitely appreciate your compliment. Yeah, dude, it's going to be a fun day to do this drafting. And yeah, speaking of the safety you're referring to, bro, this guy is like a linebacker, but plays the strong safety, dude. I would love to have this guy on my team, but it's a different position role, but he's a hybrid.
Was it the Iowa safety? I think it was Iowa State.
No, the Boise State safety.
Boise State. Okay.
Yeah,
I can't even remember who it was, but
yeah. JL Skinners, I like his tape, but he's a strong safety. Like he can play linebacker, dude. Like his hits, bro. If you watch his hits, those can get flags.
Well, I'll look more into him. Obviously, it's hard to. I don't know. I cover both the NFL and the 49ers, so I'm kind of trying to keep up with the first round and second round, and then also trying to keep up with the Niners. So not every prospect I'll get to, but that's why I bring in experts like you. So let's get into the mock draft. I put it on a medium speed, obviously, which will go pretty fast already. So obviously we have here PFF. We'll be doing this mock draft through PFF. And so let's start off the draft here. This will just quickly take a minute, the simulation. And then so before we begin, what trades are you really looking at the 49ers? Like, how far do you think the 49ers will move up? Because I obviously mentioned to you before the show started that I think the 49ers will trade up to pick 65. And my biggest thing is I think we just need to get up to a point where we need to get up to that point in the second or end of the beginning of the third round where we can get best player available. And I think if we can get up to pick number 65, we can get a very there's a lot of interesting prospects that will fall to that point.
Yeah, I'd be kind of okay with 65 pick. I think we can move up to mid third round to maybe the early third round because I don't see us staying at that spot. I see us giving up maybe a couple of decent draft picks just to move up a little bit to get somebody we want.
Yeah, for sure. Here's the thing. So I had them trading up with the Texans at pick number 65. And when I did a mock draft earlier on this morning, it said, so basically I had to give up a 2024 round 3 pick, obviously the 99th pick, and then I had to give up, I think it was the 216. It was pick 216, so I think that's what, 6th round, and then or 5th round. Sorry, 7th round, 6th or 7th round.
It was a 6th round.
Look, it was 6th round. So pick number 99, pick 216, round a 2024 round 3 pick and a 2025 round 5 pick. So I don't know if that's a little too much trade compensation there, but I think the ends justify the means there. I mean, especially since they have a lot of options at pick number 65 if they trade up there.
I mean, there's good future needs for those Texans, so they'll take whatever. But if you give them that 99 pick and that 216, that's got some more value. They still get a 3rd round pick, so they're still not like they still got them 3rd round picks. So I think it's a win-win for both of, if I'm being honest with the trade. It's like we get something that we want to get. We get a right tackle probably, or a starting caliber safety, or maybe a tight end. it'd be a surprise, but
I wouldn't be opposed to that happening. I actually really think there's a lot of good tight ends, but I think with the tight end position, it's like I think it's such a deep draft that there are guys that I think will slip to the 5th round that they could probably become starting caliber tight ends. That's how deep of a draft it is.
Yeah, kind of like how Kittle came into the league as a 5th round. So one or the other, man.
Yeah, you wouldn't be opposed to making this trade.
I like the idea. Dude, I'm all in.
Okay. So we made this trade here. So the Niners now get the pick number 65 trade. Pick number 65, and we still have 101 and 102.
We're in the business still.
So let's see what we get here. Obviously, there's going to be a few edge rushers here. So we have the pick now. So I'm going to let you pick this one. What are our top needs at this pick? I think it would be safety, corner, and edge rusher, right? Or right tackle, obviously.
Right tackle, but let's look at the right tackle, see what's available.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think that's going to be a need.
Morris, Blake he's a right tackle, but he was ranked low on a lot of people's list.
Ooh, yeah, but I'm surprised my boy Wanya Morris is up the board. I think he does have a good fit, but Blake Freeland's more athletic. Wanya Morris is a bit athletic. It's just when he had that pull hamstring, I think he ran a little faster than what people expect. But let's look at the safety and see what's out there. Mm-hmm.
I think Blake Freeland. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, but yeah, Blake Freeland would be a natural fit, but I want to see what's available on the safeties and edge rushers.
I honestly think that right tackle, the whole tackle position is kind of, I don't know, it's not extremely deep this year. And if you wanted a guaranteed starter I think the 49ers were expecting this. If you want a guaranteed starter from day one, you kind of want to go more up into the early 2nd round to get a really good right tackle there. And I just don't know. I mean, I have a guy from Old Dominion that the 49ers could definitely get at pick 101, who's a right tackle as well. Nick Saladevry, right tackle from Old Dominion. I like what he has. I mean, he could probably sit behind he could probably sit behind Colton McKivitz for a while. I mean, he has good quickness to get to the edge. His arm lengths are concerning, 33 and 1/4 inches, which is in the 26th percentile. But he has the speed to get out in space. He is what Kyle Shanahan looks for in a right tackle. And athletic to get to the edge of he has really good feet, very good, just very good footwork. So I think if that's a kind of a sleeper guy that you could get at 101 for right tackle.
Most definitely. Anthony Johnson, I've heard his name pop up a little bit, but I'm not that big on him. I'm more big on Sidney Brown from
Sidney
Illinois.
Brown.
Yeah, he's a little more down. Yeah. He's
Do you think he'll last? Go ahead.
Oh, you think he'll last? I think he'll be gone before we even get him. That's the thing, because he did pretty well in the combine, and he's got ball skills. He can tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, what's another position that besides that one? There's another one we can look at. Edge rushers. Edge rushers, yeah.
This is the most intriguing one for me.
Yeah. It is.
There's a lot of guys here that have dropped. Nick Herbig, I don't think he's going to be in reality around this time. But here, I don't really like Nick Herbig that much because he's more of an outside linebacker who plays both positions a lot more. I can look at the exact snap count that he had at Wisconsin, but he played a lot of outside linebacker. The two guys that I'm looking at in this position is Tui Pelotu and Andre Carter II. Those two guys, I can quickly give you a quick rundown on Tui Pelotu. This guy has really a nice blend of power and speed to get around the edge, but is also best when he's standing up in a pass, like in a kind of, he's best. He's not as good in the 3-point stance. He's better when he's just standing up and rushing the passer from just standing up, but he's good. Also, he has power when he does get in a 3-point stance. He has power to kind of move offensive linemen around in he has the power to move the offensive lineman when he's in a 3-point stance. So I like him as well. He can play even a little bit of defensive tackle if you had to put him there as well.
Yeah, I really like Tula Tupelo, whatever it is from UFC.
Yeah.
His versatility is good on the defensive line, so he can play the D line, like you said, and that's Tolu Fungo's cousin, I believe.
Really? Yeah, it is. It's his brother plays for the Eagles, I believe. So
no, the cousin.
Yeah,
but, they're cousins on this one. But I think as far as that, he does feel a need, so he can play the edge and play the D line, and I like versatility because the guy can play he can play the inside also. So I would definitely take him. He's worth the trade up.
Yeah,
and he does feel the need.
He's the best player available type of guy that the 49ers could definitely use there. So if you're all right with picking him, I obviously like the Sidney Brown pick, but
okay, so let's flip a coin toss on which one you like, and then so which one do you like? I like the Tully one.
I like Tui. I like Tui at this pick. Best player available.
Let's go Tui then.
Really? Okay. Do you want to? I mean, I wish we had do you want to flip a coin? Do you have a coin around you? I do not. But
I don't have a coin, but okay. So if we were to flip a coin, matter of fact, I'll go. I don't have a quarter, man. I just put it away.
Here, I can.
Okay, so so Tui would be the guy. And then what was the other one that you said? Oh, Sidney Brown. Yeah,
Sidney Brown. Yeah.
Okay, so heads would be Tui, and then tails would be Sidney Brown.
Do you want me to go get one? I have one on my desk right there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let's go. Okay.
I like the heads and tails flip. It's kind of interesting.
Okay, so I did not find a coin, but I found a really old iPod Shuffle. So heads could be the play part, like the whole dashboard part, and then tails could be the iPod, the Apple symbol or whatever.
Okay.
So let's do this. I'll flip it. So what did you say? Heads is Tui?
Heads is Tui and tails is Sidney Brown.
Okay, let's flip it here. Tails, Sidney Brown. So let's go. It just landed on tails. So let's go with Sidney Brown there. At the safety. I like it.
Yeah,
he's a nickel. He's a free safety, hard hitter. That Illinois' defense was one of the best in the country last year. And they have two really good safeties. They have Sidney Brown and then the other one, was it
Tarvey Martin?
Yeah, Martin. I also like him a lot. So let's go Sidney Brown there.
Great
so
pick,
the draft will continue going, and then we'll pick again at 101.
Yeah, Tui just went bye. He was the best available, but I'll be happy with Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown's gonna be a baller just like Hufanga from day one.
Well, the other one that we didn't really cover, and I kind of forgot to cover, was the Travius Hodges Tomlinson, and he is already gone. He was available at that pick as well. I want to quickly give, before we pick here, let's quickly cover Travius Hodges Tomlinson before we go any further than this, because he's 5'9", 5'8", but he is a physical cornerback, and he played, I can look up his snap thing on, let's see, on PFF. He played 29 snaps in 2022, 29 snaps in the slot. But then outside corner, he played 794 snaps, but he also played 185 snaps in the box. I think he has the size and the speed to be a weak side safety, which is also what we would need at pick number 65. And he's physical to go up and hit and play. He's kind of that wild card guy. He's short, so he would have to play in the slot, but you could also move him to weak side safety or whatever. So that's an interesting. If we were to pick him at 65, that would be a guy that I would not hate as well.
I would be fine with it because of the versatility, and plus he is Tomlinson's nephew too, like Damian.
Yeah, for sure. So that would be. I mean, he has a 40 time of 4.41, which is in the 81st percentile, and I mean, this guy has really good coverage skills, really good man-to-man coverage skills, has the speed to move around, obviously, like I said. And I mean, in his senior year, he allowed an elite number of 38.9 passer rating when targeted and 3 interceptions. 2 of those were pick sixes. 3-year starter at TCU, so really, really good. Just how would I say this? Really good experience there. And then just only 6 tackles missed in his senior year as well. So, I mean, a very good tackler as well. So that would be an interesting guy to look at as well.
And it's possible we can still probably get him at that point in the draft.
Oh, wow. 101. He's still here. Do you want to get him? I mean,
let's get him. Yeah, let's get him. Let's go.
Okay. Because we have 102, so we can technically. Okay, so we got. So this is interesting because we got both guys. I mean, hey, we got
one place a slot. He can
go ahead.
We get a starting free safety there, and then we got a slot corner right there.
Yeah,
so that's good right there.
Yeah. So at pick 102, what do you think they go here? Do you think they would have to go a tackle?
Yeah, I think we go tackle, but like you said, Nick Sedaria would be a nice one because of his versatility. But Carter Warren's got some. I like Carter Warren a little better, but Sedaria's got that versatility you can't ignore. So it's like.
So what's your profile? Do you have anything on Carter Warren? Because I haven't really gotten too much on him.
He's been a very good starter from Pittsburgh. He kind of has some. He's a kind of more of an aggressive blocker, very good fit on our scheme. But I think what you prefer is the versatility more. So I think Nick Cesario would probably be more of the fit. But I do like his tape a little from Pittsburgh, man. The guy has played against some good competition. He's been a very proven starter there. I mean, he's got a pretty interesting grade. But it's not.
I mean, so didn't have a ton of games played. Is that because he got injured in 2022?
Probably so because of what happened. But I think as far as when you watch his tape, bro, the guy can really block well. He's a good run blocker too, so that's another plus. But
yeah.
But Nick Sedario, I think with Nick Sedario would probably be more of the safer bet, if I'm being honest.
Well, I mean, if you so you want to, so which ones? I mean, this is totally your call. I've been making a lot of the calls so far. So do you want to go Carter Warren or Nick Saladevery?
Let's check what's down out there. Jordan McFadden and see if there's another
Jordan McFadden. Braden Daniels. I've heard of him. Ryan Hayes is kind of a reach here.
I'll just go with Carter Warren then. Carter Warren he's probably more of a natural right tackle.
Okay. Yeah, and the thing that's kind of concerns me here is this. I mean, you have Nick Saladevery, but like I said, he has short arms, and he's kind of similar to Peter Skoronski in a way. If you guys know, they're both kind of guys that, they were good right tackles. They were damn good right tackles, but their arms and their just build kind of screams guard at the next level. They're kind of people that will probably make that transition. And it's like, if you're the 49ers, if you're the 49ers, I mean, do you need another right guard? I mean, you do for depth. I mean, this guy could be a great swing tackle, but is he starting right away? No. So yeah, Carter Warren. I also like the measurables more on Carter Warren for sure. So
yeah, he's a natural starting tackle.
Yeah. I'll look more up into him because I have not looked up a ton of Carter Warren stuff. Let me resume this draft here so we can get going.
I mean, there's quite a few good ones. Carter Warren's definitely up there. Him and Tyler Steen and quite a few should be on their spots.
So I want to look at kind of his, so he's 6'5". Oh, wow. Weight, 311. Long arms, 35 3/8 inches. 4 seasons as a starter. Well, obviously got injured in his last season. So that's great. I mean, Yeah, I do. I would agree with you there. That's a good pick there. So now we have pick 155, which is like what? Now it's 5th round.
Yeah.
We're about halfway through the 5th. So what do you think we go here? Because do you think we go receiver? That's an interesting one, or tight end. I would kind of agree with, I would say tight end here.
Tight end. But let's see.
We have Josh Wiley. That's a big fan favorite.
I'm gonna have to look at the ones who would fit more of this Niners team. They have to do blocking mostly, so they got to do blocking and catch the ball.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You said Josh Wiley is a good fit. He's definitely a good fit, but I don't know if he would be the right spot to pick him at. So maybe we can look at a wide receiver or somebody else.
Wide receiver.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think in this draft, this is an historical. I mean, Davis Allen and Josh Wiley, very similar. Both really pass-catching tight ends. I do like the measurables on Josh Wiley a little bit more. He's a little bit lengthier. Davis Allen is more of your traditional tight end that can also catch, which is maybe what the Niners will want. I don't really like Luke Schoonmaker as a fit for the 49ers because this guy he's not very physical. He's more of a finesse tight end, and it's like Davis Allen and Josh Wiley are both more physical, both guys that when they catch the ball, they are looking to score. Like think they're going to get a touchdown right away. I like both of those guys just because they will run over you if they catch the ball. So,
I haven't looked too much on Davis Allen, but I've seen a lot of Josh Wiley, and I think Josh Wiley has a lot of intriguing tape, like as far as his blocking and his catching ability, and he goes for that touchdown. That's something we look for at the position. Ooh, slot receiver.
Yeah.
That can be a future need, but I've watched this kid from Fresno State the last couple of years. He's gotten better. He's a consistent receiver. He had over 1,000 yards. He can be your NFL slot receiver. Bryce Ford Wheaton, I've heard a lot of upsides, and that Wicks guy from Virginia, very productive in that college. This is John Chapman's favorite. John Chapman's favorite guy is Charlie Jones. This guy's quick mismatch.
Do you want to take him with this pick? We have a pick 9 picks later.
Oh, dude, I'd be okay with Charlie Jones. I heard a lot of tape about this guy. Like, he is hard to tackle, like a mismatch.
Yes. And I mean, he's smaller, but we need kind of that guy. I go back, I kind of compared Charlie Jones to the Taylor guy from a few years ago. He's a
Trent Taylor.
Receiver. Trent Taylor, kind of a guy who he's small, but he's kind of an underneath guy that like you can run him on like an underneath crosser, like 4 yards deep and just dump it off to him. He's a perfect dump off option. I think this is a great, this is kind of like a safety blanket. We obviously used Christian McCaffrey as a safety blanket a lot last year. This guy is more of like kind of more of like a safety blanket guy that you could just dump it off to a few times a game. So he can take it. I mean, his yards after the catch, I can look up his exact stats. I did like his tape there. But yeah, if you're okay with taking Charlie Jones, then that's good with me.
Yeah, he's a lot faster than Trent Taylor. He ran a 4.43 or something. So I did a lot of my scouting report on one of the guys who used to play at Purdue, and he was talking a lot of high on this kid. And he says, "Oh yeah, that dude's going to be special."
Yeah. And, let me see here. Corey.
Oh, that dude can be a good shutdown corner, but I don't think we need another cornerback. I mean, Trice is pretty interesting. Like, he's allowed the least amount of yards in the conference. So, like, Trice is good. Anthony Johnson's been moving up draft boards as of lately, so he's kind of like your Jimmy Ward. Yeah. Oh,
I don't think we need another safety.
Yeah, we don't. No, we don't. But I'm just giving you my reviews of what I've heard.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And these are the top guys available. We have Schoonmaker, Ronnie Hickman. What do you think about him? He's kind of interesting as well.
Oh, yeah. See, even East Coast Gridiron even said it best. See, Charlie Jones made Joey Porter Jr. switch sideways, bro. Like, he made him look like a fool out there. See,
yeah.
So, as far as, like, other positions, like you said, but Shoemaker, bro, him sliding a little further, that's too good to pass. I mean, but like you said, I like Josh Wiles a little more better.
Wiley. Let's see.
But
I think Wiley's still on the board here.
But then there's Payne Durham, who's a natural tight end. He's a natural blocker, like the guy from
Durham.
Yeah, he's a natural, but he's probably a little too high to get. I don't know, like if you had to choose between Davis Allen or Lou Shoemaker or Josh Weil, we can go between the tight ends if you want to.
I think they pick a tight end here. This is just Wiley is high on a lot of people's boards. If he slips this far, which I don't even think he will, I think you have to take him here. And obviously, like, these rankings are kind of like they're by PFF, but like these will probably not all pan out. Like Wiley, to some people, is like a 3rd round pick. We're now drafting in the end of the 5th round, and so I like Wiley's production. I mean, he with Desmond Ridder, he was targeted a lot with Desmond Ridder, and so I like what he did there. So I mean, if you want to go tight end, we could also go. Let's see, we gotta.
But you said a finesse tight end like Shoemaker, but then Shoemaker does have that speed. But I would rather prefer somebody like a Josh Weil. Josh Weil is like your pure tight end, yards after the catch, a natural blocker. Yeah. Hey, what's up, East Coast Gridiron, man? Good to see all the comments. Some of his breakdowns are pretty good on these players, bro. This dude does a lot of film studies on these guys. This guy does his homework. So yeah. I'm gonna say Josh Weil because Josh Weil does everything. A pure catcher. He's a yak guy, bro. He's like George Kittle Jr., but just in a little limited production, bro.
Yeah. Off the team. So let's get to a little bit of the comments. Sorry, guys, that I've been kind of lacking on that. Ford Whedon. Do you anything on him?
Oh yeah, big size receiver from West Virginia. Dude, this guy has some speed, bro. Just his little concentration catches were the issues in college, but his production could have got better, bro. This guy was he'll put the top on the defense.
Yeah.
Like I think he had a 4.38 speed, 6'3", around the 220 range. This dude, he's got upsides, really good.
Okay. But, I mean, we already took a receiver there, so I don't know about that. Safety blankets, which I think he was commenting on Charlie Jones.
Yep.
I'll be doing a video on Charlie Jones. Yes, do that, please. Charlie Jones made Joey Porter Jr. switch sides. That's what you pointed out a few minutes ago. Charlie has one of the best hands and route running skill sets in college football. Yes. Payne Durham, the best tight end in this draft. No one talks about.
Yeah.
I'll have to look more into him. Yeah,
I've talked with Stuart Swagger like weeks ago, and he was talking very high on this kid, even though he went to Purdue. But he says this guy does everything that you want from a tight end alone. But as far as like the best available tight end, I would have to say if you want a guy who's a pure catcher and can do everything, Josh Weil is your no-brainer.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And he plays at the same college as Travis Kelce, so it kind of seems like you can get another Kelce maybe. Yeah.
Davis is a pass catcher. Josh Wiley is a pure pass guy. I do agree with that. I mean, you didn't really see when you look at Wiley's kind of film, you didn't see a ton of blocking, but it's like we have those type of guys. I mean, if you're in a 2 tight end set, not both of those guys, like both of those guys don't have to be blocking tight ends, just one of them, I would think. So I don't know. I think we need more of a pass catching tight end. I'm going to be honest. So
yeah, and the tape of what he said about Fort Wheaton, it's facts, bro. His hands has been the issue. Like he's got the size and speed. It's just the hands. He's got to improve being consistent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is like this late in the round. You have to take guys that are just flyers that you can work with. The only thing, like, okay, so to go back earlier to the draft that we've had earlier. Sorry, like to the earlier rounds. That I want to ask you real quick. I have a question on this. The edge rusher. This is a super deep draft. And so it's like we picked our first pick was it was Sidney Brown. But if you're trading up realistically to get an edge rusher, I don't even know if it's like worth it because this draft is really deep with them. I mean, you could wait at pick number 99, maybe trade up a little bit to get a guy in Byron Young. I think that's his name.
Byron Young, but then there's Jose Ramirez, a sleeper from Eastern Michigan. That guy was the MAC Defensive Player of the Year. That's a guy you definitely need to check out. His production's off the chain. Let's see if he's available. I like Jose Ramirez, but maybe we can get a tight end after that pick. Let's check out some edge rushers, see if there's any available. Like I like
interesting.
I want that. That's the guy I like. His motor's off the chain, bro. He's very productive. Comes from the same college as Max Crosby, but he was the MAC Defensive Player of the Year, bro. The motor is, but if you like proper coaching and stuff like Chris Eric, bro, this guy would be a perfect fit. Oh, tight end. Nice. Shoemaker's just getting past because he's a finesse.
Let's take Wiley at this pick.
Yeah, I like Wiley.
Okay, so Wiley there, and then we'll obviously break down a few more of these players when this mock draft ends. Let's get to a little bit of the mints while this is. Do you want to trade up at all? I mean, I think at this point you're in the You're in the 6th round. That's not really worth it. No. And this is never where you see trade ups. JT Daniels was throwing lasers and Ford Whedon was dropping a ton of passes.
Yep.
Yeah, JT Daniels. I've heard of his name before. I'll have to check him out more.
He was a USC transfer. He went to another college, didn't pan out there, and then he went to another college. So he's been going to 3 colleges.
Yeah. Let's see. You can work with him until he keeps dropping passes and he's on the practice squad. He's still talking about Ford Whedon. Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I mean, in Kyle Shanahan's system, I feel like that's why, I don't know. If you're dropping passes, it's obviously with any system that's going to get you on the practice squad. But I feel like with Kyle Shanahan's system, you have to have really good hands because he hates, I mean, their system is so based over the middle passes where it's like, if you drop a pass there, it's an interception. So it's like, you have to be extra careful there.
Yeah, you get to the doghouse if you can't catch the ball. Shanahan does not like guys who drop passes. Byron Young's a very good edge rusher. I think he was already gone by then.
Yeah, well, I mean, that guy's speed around the edge, Byron Young, really good speed coupled with a little bit of power, but had one of the best 40 times as an edge rusher.
Yeah, 4.43 or something.
I mean, a lot of people have said that we need a speed edge rusher opposite Nick Bosa. He played primarily on the left side, which is what you want. I mean, he's played both sides before. I mean, that would be a great player. And that's why it's like, what's the point of trading up for a edge rusher when there are so many good ones that you could get? I mean, this is the deepest edge rusher draft, I think we've seen in a while.
Yeah, I think edge rushers and tight ends are pretty deep this year. Like as far as like you can get a starting caliber, a very solid backup that can step in and produce. Like I felt like when you look at other edge rushers, bro, I think Jose Ramirez has the most upside, bro. This guy, everybody's sleeping on. This guy can be one of those most productive guys. Like people were sleeping on Crosby. He got picked in the 4th round by the Raiders, played in the same college. Production was very similar. I'm not saying he's going to be like another Crosby, but if you develop this kid would be as good, if not close enough, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's see here. We're now into the 7th round with pick 222, beginning of the 7th round. So this is kind of a place where I think maybe you start looking interior offensive line possibly for a little bit of depth. I mean, Jake Andrews is an interesting one. I haven't actually gotten into a ton of 7th round picks because who actually does, but where do you think, I mean, maybe backup center here, guard possibly. We obviously got the Feliciano guy who probably will play center there, but right now you're kind of just looking for depth pieces that maybe pan out.
I've heard a lot of good tape on Caleb Chandler from Louisville. Like he's got some good
Chandler? Okay.
Yeah, he's a guard. He's got some good tape. I watched the guy from Louisville. Yeah, he's a good depth piece to have. I've seen some tape where he's a good blocker, very solid in between, like as a pass blocker, run blocker in between. So he would be a nice guy to develop as your backup.
What about Dorian? Go ahead.
Oh, Dorian
Thompson-Robinson. Do you think maybe as like a depth piece? I don't know. That's a guy that kind of has surprised a lot of people. I think he goes earlier than this, though. I think this whole simulation thing is slightly off because I think Dorian Thompson-Robinson's more like a 4th round pick, 5th round.
Yeah, he's kind of a little low than expected. He should be a little higher.
Yeah.
Man, he would be too good to pass, but do we really need a quarterback, bro?
No.
I mean, I would probably wait until the last pick, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So what else? Yeah, so I think we've already taken a receiver. Maybe you take a flyer at the end there, but you would agree with interior offensive line, right? For kind of just depth.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Caleb Chandler it is.
Yeah, Caleb Chandler. We can go interior defensive line also. That's the next one, and get some linebacker depth.
Yeah, that's something that I didn't actually. I mean, you were obviously talking about Carl Brooks here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, deep tackle. He's versatile. Like one of those guys that's been standing out. And the more I watch his tape, the more I really like his tape. But
let's see here. So now we have 247. D line.
Yeah, D line.
Carl Brooks at this point probably isn't. Where do you think Carl Brooks goes at this point?
Oh, Carl Brooks, he would be at least a 3rd or maybe 4th round grade. I don't know. I've seen him move up some draft. Yeah, I've seen him moved up some draft boards. But let's look at the rest of those D lines, see what's out there. Ooh, the guy from San Diego.
We have Jonah Tavai, Jacob Slade, Dejon Johnson, Corey Durden, Robert Cooper. So do you just want to take best player available, Jonah Tavai?
He seems like a good fit, but I like that one kid from Toledo, Deshaun Johnson, whatever his name. Yeah, that kid from Toledo. Okay. That guy's got motor, bro. The guy can play any of those spots, and that's a typical Niners fit. And he's been visiting the Niners too, so they've been very, very high on this guy.
Okay. Lock that in. Now we have another one here at the end of the 7th round. I mean, maybe you take a running back here. I mean, that could be something.
No, you want to look at running backs, man, because the fans ain't gonna like these picks, man. They're gonna say, "Man, why we get a running back?"
Hey, Travis Dye. I mean, this is like something that like I wouldn't hate them taking a running back here because it's such a flyer pick. I mean, yeah, I've heard a little bit of Travis Dye. I watched Cameron Peoples at Appalachian State. That we actually lived like 2 hours away from the university we used to. In North Carolina.
Jordan Mims. I've seen some film on this kid. He's got a little quickness. He's very quick off those gaps, and he might be worth a flyer if you want to take a chance on him. Like he's like I think he's about like a 5'11" type running back around the 205 or 210s, but very productive at Fresno State. But I watched a lot of Fresno State games. He probably is the guy you probably could take a flyer on. And if he makes the roster or not, oh well, but he has some quickness, bro. Some very quick off those.
Yeah. My question is like, do you go power over speed since the 49ers have already speed? I mean, in Christian McCaffrey. I don't know. Maybe you take a power back. I don't know.
Cameron Peoples would probably be more of your power guy, but Niners just covet more of the speed more.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Tyson Bagent. We have Max Duggan, which is interesting. Like, if you're looking at quarterback to pick with like one of your last picks, I mean, Max Duggan is not that bad. Like, I'm surprised he's ranked this low.
Yeah, he's a little too low.
I know, and he was good at TCU too. I mean, I could understand why you wouldn't want to pick him. He's kind of a guy who, you know, he's kind of like a Stetson Bennett type of quarterback, you know, a guy who had a successful team but worries some people. So I don't know. Let's just do you want to take Max Duggan at this point or somebody?
Yeah, let's just take a flyer on him then. Might as well.
Okay.
Because with all the quarterback injuries, with all the quarterback dramatics, man, we might as well just get one on the practice squad.
Okay, so to quickly recap our draft, let's see. Full results. I don't want to wait for the grades. So full results. Oh, sorry. Here, your results. Okay.
And they gave you the
Excuse me, guys. My computer is extremely slow. I need to get a new one. I'm getting actually a new one very soon. It's this one's pretty old. And so let's see here. So before this is kind of loading right now. Nice analysis, guys. Keep it up. And then that's my brother, obviously. How about them Niners? Says Tavai is a beast. Joseph Camperman comes in and says Duggan is getting picked by Dallas. Haha. Yeah.
No, but Tavai does seem like a really like a beast from San Diego State, but I don't know if he would be the natural fit for our defense. We like these versatile guys, and I've seen a lot of I've seen some film from Deshaun, or I don't know how you say Deshaun Johnson. I've heard a lot about him, and Niners are very high on him.
Yeah.
Oh, so your brother's a Cowboys fan?
No, my brother is an Eagles fan.
He's
he
an
hates
Eagles
the
fan?
Cowboys. He likes to make fun of the Cowboys a lot, and that's why he was saying Max Duggan, because he's from Texas. And the Cowboys, I feel like, always make these like homer picks where like they'll get a guy that they've been scouting because he's from Texas, he's near the area. And I mean, I do agree with him. The Cowboys do tend to make those type of picks where makes no sense, but
and they butcher us, man. They butcher us in those little grades. It's all good, man. It's all fun.
So to quickly recap the draft, we had Sidney. So we traded up, got Sidney Brown. He's a good safety from Illinois at pick number 65 in the 3rd round. Which I don't really like the grades that they give us, because unless you're picking a need that PFF has assigned to the 49ers, then the grade is bad, which I don't think this pick is bad at all. So I think Sidney Brown was a good pick there.
Yeah, he's moving up draft boards. He's moving up really on good draft boards. So he might not be around when we're there. So
yeah, that's a good pick. I like it. Then we go secondary more. We go Trevius Hodges Tomlinson, which if he falls, this would be an A+++ pick.
Absolutely.
I love him a lot. He's a guy who can move around. So you basically add depth and starting position talent to your secondary with the first 2 picks. I like that a lot. And then we go Carter Warren, which you seem to like. And now that I look more at his measurables, I even like. I'm going to have to look more into him. So that I like that pick as well.
Yeah, and why would it be a D for Charlie Jones? This guy's not getting enough recognition. This guy should be a little higher on some grades, man. Like a D? Come on.
Yeah, Charlie Jones, Purdue. I like that pick. I need to look a little bit more into the film, but he's a speedy guy. He's a guy that could go downfield a little bit as well, could be an underneath blanket, could really do it all. I think he's kind of a guy that the 49ers need. I think he's also like the build of receiver that Kyle Shanahan looks for. He kind of is like that Homer Kyle Shanahan pick, I feel like.
Yeah. And I think Jose Ramirez is a perfect example of what I told you. This guy is I think the grade's perfectly fine, but I think his talent's going to be a lot better.
I'll look more into him. That's an interesting one. We grab, obviously, an edge rusher in the 5th round, which I think is good because, like, I wanted an edge rusher earlier on, but if he can pan out and be kind of that guy that the guy on the opposite, I mean, we're obviously hoping that the USC, the guy from USC last year pans out. What's his name?
Drake Jackson.
Drake Jackson pans out. So if you can add some depth there with Jose Ramirez, that's a good pick. And then we had Josh Wiley, which I don't think he'll fall this far, but for the sake of the mock draft, we had Josh Wiley, round 5, pick number 173. He's an interesting guy as well.
Yeah, he's a pure catcher and a yak guy, so he would be a great fit.
Yes. Caleb Chandler, kind of adding some depth, round 7, pick 222. And then defensive line, we went interior, Dejuan Johnson. Here's my question with interior. Do you think the 49ers go earlier on the D-line?
That's a really good question. I don't think we go early on the defensive lineman, but maybe edge rushers we might. So there's a bit of a difference there. I think edge rusher would probably be the earliest one. Maybe it wouldn't surprise me if we go safety or tight end, maybe, because tight end could be definitely a need to improve on.
I mean, I made a show last week saying, like, what are the positions that I wouldn't hate us drafting 3rd round? And I mean, like you said, I think tight end, edge rusher, safety, cornerback, receiver even. I mean, receiver, there are some guys in the third round, like Michael Wilson's getting a lot of hype in the third round, and he's a guy that just, I mean, if he can stay healthy, he was a top receiver in this draft if he can stay healthy. So that's a guy go ahead.
Stanford receivers usually produce pretty solid guys out there. So they got they're well coached at that next level. So Michael Wilson's another guy to check out. But Jonathan Mingo is a guy I'm really high on.
Ooh. Yes, Mingo. But we would have to get what? We would have to get mid-second, early. Yeah.
But man, I don't know. Maybe he might move up a little more. I guess since everybody's checking out his tape more, I guess that would be too much to go for. But man.
Yeah. Jordan Mims was the round 7 pick to, let's see. Let me take this comment off so we can see it a little bit better.
I mean, he was very productive at Fresno State last season. He had over 1,300 yards rushing. It's not like we're gonna, at this point, you just add guys on the roster, and it would be more like depth or guys who can compete for one. So
yeah. Then we had Max Duggan kind of just taking a flyer. That's flyer on a quarterback. So yeah, that is our draft. I'll be posting it after. Obviously, I'll copy. Let's see, download image. I'll be posting it afterwards on Twitter. So if you guys want to go check that out there. So let's take this image off real quick. This has been a fun show, man. Definitely love talking football with you. Obviously, it's a not traditional show because usually I make up topics, we discuss them, but this is kind of like a mock drafts, which sometimes it's hard to with mock drafts, it's hard to actually have discussion because there's so many prospects you're going through and picking them. And so it's it's definitely an interesting way to do a show, but thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime, dude. Definitely appreciate being on the show. For anybody else that's not too familiar with my channel, bro.
Guys promote yourself.
Oh yeah. So my main channel is All Sports Network, which I do all Niners content on different channels. So my main channel is CG Ruthless Sports. And then my Niners channel, which is growing, it's getting a lot of good amount of people there, which is CG Ruthless 49ers Talk. It's been nothing but 49ers topic down there. If you want all 49ers topic, go to that channel. But if you just want the sports alone, where it just has wrestling and others topic, just look at CG Ruthless Sports. I do the NFC West Network every Tuesday, but it's kind of been on a hiatus for a while, but we should be coming back soon on the NFC West Network. I do a lot of shows with certain content creators, but as of lately, I've been trying to interview some prospects. So, there's a good chance that I might get Carl Brooks on the show, but his schedule's kind of been a little off. So he's been visiting a lot of teams. So maybe before draft day, I'll get him on the show, and maybe you guys can ask some questions in the comment section if you guys want to know about him. You guys are more than free.
Yeah, it's Carl Brooks was kind of the guy that started off in round 7, and he's jumped tremendously in the draft. Made a huge leap. But yeah, guys, if you guys want to go follow him on Twitter, YouTube, CG Ruthless Sports, go do that. Link in the description. Just great content over there. And real quick before we get out of here, Jerry Jones, dude, Jerry loves Duggan. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in the 4th. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys, we both hate the Cowboys. That is one thing us and Eagles fans can agree on, which I do hate the Eagles because they knocked us out and knocked out our quarterback as well. So not a big fan of either teams, but if you would have to pick between, who do you hate more, the Eagles or the Cowboys? I would say probably the Cowboys, but
yeah, Cowboys, most definitely. That's the only thing we can all have in common. But then there's another common thing we can all hate. There's a couple of Eagle fans I know that don't like the Rams.
Yeah, that is true. That is
because
true.
of the Carson Wentz injury.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess now that I think about it, it was that game. It was. Oh, they were playing the Rams. I forgot about that. Man. Well, I I guess there's a few things. Obviously, we hate the Eagles as well, but there are a few things that we can agree on there. So
I mean, I can't hate the Eagles like everybody else. It was just an unfortunate injury. I'm probably the least hating on the Eagles, because I work with some of these guys that are Philadelphia fans. So I try to go on the good side, but I don't really like their little cockiness talking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they got awesome fan base. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. One of the best in the NFL.
Most
Diehard
passionate
fans.
fan base, yeah.
And here's the thing. I think the 49ers, if you were talking about like fan bases, and don't get me wrong, I mean, the 49ers fan base is great, but I feel like a lot of their fans are more recent, more like bandwagon hopping on the last 5 years kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean,
there's some that wouldn't even know these players on the back of my wall. So it's like,
yeah.
See that old school player, and then there's another player that was like way before your guys' time. So these were guys. So
I mean, I've liked him since 2011, and technically, I mean, I was like 4 years old, so you can't really call me. I didn't even know almost what football was, so you can't really call me a bandwagoner. That's when they were starting to become good, but I started liking them, and then I've been a fan ever since. For what? It's been almost 12 years now. So
yeah, sometimes you find your purpose of another team, and I grew up around families who were Cowboy fans, so it wasn't like an easy thing to grow up with. There was times where I would get picked on a lot because of the team, but I embraced the villain. I embraced being the bad guy. That's what I like. I mean,
the thing is like the 2-14 years were the years when I was getting the most teased, bro. Yep. 2-14. Oh, that was the worst. Chip Kelly, bro.
Yeah, try the Dennis Erickson days where we were 2-14 in 2004 and only beat the Cardinals in overtime in those 2 seasons, bro. That was a disaster. Like, go to high school. Yeah, like when I go to high school during freshman year, bro, or some Niner years, bro, they gave me a hard time. Yeah, I was probably one of the very few guys that were real, like the legitimate ones.
I mean, wait, so who? I'm trying to think. In 2016, when we went 2-14, who were the teams that we beat? Because I feel like it was like the Cardinals once.
No,
I know we went Rams twice, right?
Yeah, Rams twice.
Yeah, and then we had a overtime game in the Jets, I believe, with the Jets when Colin Kaepernick, and where we went to overtime. I think it was double overtime. I can't remember. But
yeah, the Jets won with that touchdown play.
Yeah.
That game was like weird, but in 2016, that was when we won 2 games that year, and then Chip Kelly was fired, and then
thank God.
Yeah, the history was gone, so it's like it could have been worse. The Dennis Erickson days were the worst. Like, yeah, anybody didn't know who Dennis Erickson was, that dude was a college coach, just like Chip Kelly.
I fear for the Cardinals. Because speaking of college coaches, literally their whole entire coaching staff is made of college coaches. So hopefully they don't absolutely suck this year. But I mean, it's good if they do. So
yeah, so I can give my boy Mike a little hard time.
Yeah. Well, this has been a fun show. Thank you everyone for sticking with us. CG Ruthless Sports. This is my first time having him on. He's had me on his show. So go check out his channel. All the good stuff that he puts out on there. Guys, I'll probably be back during the week for another show, more breaking down the NFL and NFC West. So that will be later on in the week. And then I'll be splitting this mock draft into a few different videos during the week on my channel. Guys, the draft is just 2 weeks away. So I'm pumped. I'm stoked. I'll probably be doing a first round watch party and possibly a watch party when the 49ers pick in the 3rd round. So go check that out, everyone. When it does come up. And yeah, I'm excited for the draft. CG Ruthless Sports, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, anytime, dude.
Okay, well, we'll see you guys later. Have a good rest of your guys' Sunday. Let's go Niners.